Alrighty guys, let me just turn that fan off and welcome to the stream this afternoon. Alright, sorry about that, I just had to do some messaging. Alright, so I have the live weather from Rex Weather Force 2020 up as well. I'll just bring that up on screen for you, and yoink, wait, there it is. Alright, so this is the weather that we should be getting into our stream, into the sim. Very shortly, so hopefully the stream works out alright, but yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go on and see what happens. I'm hoping that this comes up. If not, we'll see in the future, I guess. But anyways, without further ado, I have my VTC chart with me because we're gonna go out to the southeastern training area just for a little bit of a flight, probably come back and go out to the east training area for a bit, and then come back in and do some circuits. So yeah, that should be the weather today, so we'll go ahead and close that off and we shall get this going. Alright, so we're in the 152. Now this isn't the 152 default, this is the 152X mod that you can get from GitHub. Absolutely brilliant little aircraft. So yeah, if my head cocks like that, that's because I'm looking at the other screen, and I really hope it does not stuff around, so just be careful with all of that. Alright, well I hope you can hear me, I really do. Anyways, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Now I am using a, I'm just going to bring up that flight checklist here. Do I actually have it bookmarked? Yes, I do. Yay! So I have the 152 bookmark, the checklist bookmarked that we normally do. Alright, so let's just go ahead and do the interior one first. So just bring that up over here. Yeah, we're good. I'm just going to be covering up the chat for a bit. We might be able to get rid of that. I'm not going to show it, the checklist to you, because it is from my school, so copyright issues, blah blah blah. But you can look this one up. Just Bass Air Sydney, Cessna 152. You can Google it. It comes straight up. It's like one of the first one that pops up there. So. Just for your information, if you want to learn the 152. So yeah. Apart from that, alright, hopefully I will get nothing on my phone anymore. Okay, alright, so without further ado, let's get going. So, we need to remove the control lock, so we're going to do that. Ignition switch is off, so let's come down to the bottom here and check that it is off. It is off. Alright. I'm just going to like pause the track IR so it's not all over the place. Alright, so we're going to go ahead master switch on. So just the battery. We're going to make sure that the fuel shut-off valve is on. Okay. So fuel shut-off valve down here. Let's turn that on down there. Before we go any further, actually, let's do weight and balance. Now I am a heavy boy. So we're going to go ahead, fill up the whole tank, make that 0. And I'm going to chuck my pounds in. I am a very heavy boy, so weight within the weight and balance, just. But yeah, we kind of need the fuel for today. All right, so that's that done. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, so the fuel shut-off valve is on. and we're going to check the fuel quantities. So let's go ahead and check fuel quantity. It's good. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the battery off. Alright, so from here, now you'd go out and you'd check the empennage, the right wing, left wing, nose, blah blah blah. Well, we're in a sim, not going to happen. So pre-flight inspection completed. Alright, flight authorization complete and MR signed and opened. So the MR is just your maintenance report that we have to do as pilots. Then complete passengers. We don't have any passengers on here, so brief the passengers, all that sort of stuff. Make sure the seats and all of that are locked and adjusted that aren't being used, and brakes set and test. Alright, let's go ahead and set the test now. I'm just going to reset that. Alright, so parking brake is on. I'm just going to go ahead and test the foot pedals. Foot pedals are great. Alright, so yeah, track IR is going to like be all weird as well, so be careful. Alright, so the next one is radio equipment off and circuit breakers are all in before we go anywhere else. So I normally do this in a flow, so I'm going to go ahead and do it in a flow, and then we'll go ahead and check everything else. So the fuel, good. Make sure the pitot heat is off. Beacon on. Master on. And alternator. Coming across, all the avionics is off. ADF is off. All the circuit breakers are in. And we are good. And the fuel should be ICO, that's just my controls. And we are good. Alright, so throttle mixture full rich. Throttle full forward. And that should be it. Alright, so what do we have to do? Seatbelts adjusted, brakes set and test, avionics equipment off, circuit breakers in, mixtures on, throttle, carb heat cold, rotating beacon on, fuel shut-off valve on, propeller clear and master switch on. Now we just need to give it a good start. So we've done the checklist. I don't have to do like one at a time. So we know that that's cold and all that sort of stuff. So beacon's on. Let's just go ahead and turn it. Now I do have a yoke system that has a key. So, but unfortunately, if you watch this, I'm going to show it to you. It won't start, I don't think. So it doesn't start because the key doesn't stay down long enough. But however, we'll just give it a prime anyway. 1, 2, 3. I'll show it again. Doesn't work. It's because it doesn't stay down long enough, so we'll just kick it with the key. Alright, bringing the idle back down to about 1100. We don't want it to drop below 100 because we want to keep the amps alive. Alright, so now we've adjusted down 1000 and checking the oil pressure. So we'll go ahead and check the oil pressure. Oil pressure is coming up to the green, and oil temp is still cold. I am using the Cessna 152X mod, so that's actually realistic. So we can't do anything with the aircraft until that has been rectified. So that should happen by the time we get to run up and all that. That's all good. Alright, so after checks, we come down here and we turn on our nav and taxi lights. Then we move over, checking to see if any of these windows, there's a little window behind that turn indicator, making sure that that turn indicator is fully, like just pretty much nothing in there, no red or yellow or black or whatever, so it's just clear, it's just nothing there, which is good. Coming along here, turning our radios on now. I've got to turn the radios on twice in this aircraft, otherwise they don't turn on. I'll go ahead and turn them up. Go ahead and turn those up too. Change that to 122.8 for VATSIM, and turn those over to 3000. The reason we turn that to 3000 is because we're in D-class airspace, and we want anyone over at Brisbane to know that we are part of the D-class airspace Archerfield. So any D-class airspace, D-class airspace, you'll be on 3000 until you leave. Now, the D-class airspace, I will bring up. You can find the VTC charts for Australia from the Air Services Australia website. Now, I happen to have one right here. So let's go ahead and have a look at said one. Alright. I don't know if this whole thing is going to show up. It should. Alright. I'll just open that up and alright. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop that in the background. Alright, so VTC, we're in Archerfield. Okay, so down here, I think I might have got the wrong one actually. Or it's just, yeah, no, it's just loading. There we go. Alright, so there's Archerfield, and you can see the D-class airspace. So once we leave that area, the little ball area, we'll be at 1,000. We can be around 1,500 in here, but we're leaving the airspace, so we'll be at 1,000 on the way out. We're actually going to go down this purple line. We'll quite off to the right of it, so we'll come across Logan motorway there and head out towards this little area, then come down that way. That way any returning aircraft we don't crash into, and we'll fly out there at around about 1,000 feet the whole way, and then we'll increase our climb. Alright, so that is that. Now we don't have a GPS on the aircraft, so unfortunately that's what we will be utilizing for today. Alright, so just double check what our weather is. That's cool, and we'll bring up our thing. Alright, so brakes and flight instruments, we're going to just need to check those. Alright, so now I just want to double check the matter. So it is, was it 1024? 1024. That should change by the time we start taxiing out. It is a little bit slow. Alright, cool. And compass is reading almost south, and our directional indicator is reading south too. Alright, so we got our taxi lights. So let's take the park brake off and we'll head out. So yeah, I did my solos last Thursday, so quite pleased with myself that I actually managed to do something that I kind of wanted. As you can see, our weather has finally kicked in now that we've moved off our parking bay. It, for some reason, does that to me. So we do have clouds, and it looks like our matter is settled. Good. So there is clouds out there now. Should give him a call. Actually, I don't even think I activated. No, I didn't. So I'm going to do the naughty and start on the taxiway. There we go. Now I'm all set. Cool. Archerfield Ground, Whiskey, Romeo, Quebec. Taxiing to the run-up bay for runway 10 left. Alright, so we should be on runway 10 left. East-southeast at 11 knots, yes. So runway 10 left. Now, they said east-southeast. Or is that the direction it is heading? Wind direction, okay, east-southeast. I think it is heading to east-southeast. I think that Rex Weather Force is a little broken, so if that's the case, it'll be runway 10 left. Now, having a look down there, yeah, it's going to be runway 10 left anyways. Looks like it is heading the way we thought it was going to anyway. So it is coming from east-southeast, not going to east-southeast. It was before though, so Rex is a little jumpy, I don't know. So we're just going to follow these. Is there another... There's another one over there, and that's pointing to the east. I think that's just a bug. We'll see what it is actually pointing in a minute. But we do have a little bit of a wind from the left, and I can feel it because the aircraft's pulling to the left. So I'm just going to go full left aileron into the wind. Ah, there it is. Okay, so it is actually coming from that Well, it should be coming from the other way, but that's alright. The wind is weird. Okay, so when it does say it's going east-southeast, it should be going east-southeast then. So that's the direction of the wind, not direction from the wind. That's alright. It doesn't even look like that, to be honest. We have a look at that wind. It looks like it's coming from the north. Just turn the lights on while we cross the runway here. Yeah, east-southeast at 11 knot winds. Real weird. Probably should have leaned that out while we were taxiing, that's alright. Alright, so we'll go to the next area where the run-up bay is, and then we'll pull up. Go ahead and turn those lights off. Alright, park brake on. Have a look around the aircraft, make sure there's nothing on, and check the annunciator panel if there is one on the aircraft. That's okay, that's just because we're a little bit down on RPM. Come down, and mixture full rich. Rev up the aircraft to about 17, hold your brakes down just in case the park brake fails. About there, bring it back, 17. Alright, let's give her a check. There's about 25 RPM drop. So that is a perfect aircraft. Nothing wrong with it at all. Okay. Had a 25 RPM drop there. Going around one last time, just double checking, making sure there's nothing in that little window. Coming around, making sure everything's good. Making sure we got positive amps going in. Carburetor heat. We have a drop. And close. Now this should not drop below 600 RPM. And the amp meter comes on, 800 there, 850, yep, cool. Back up to 1000. So she settled about 850, which is good. Alrighty. Park brake off, and let's get going. Alright, so pista checks, so Peter heat not required. Instruments, we have good in the green. Switches, lights are on. Hatches and harnesses are locked, flaps are up. Trim is set for takeoff. And altimeter is on. Cool. Right. And we'll hold short. The remote it will stop. There we go. Oh, cool. Alright, so 25 degrees in our temperature gauge, which should read up here, which is roughly about 25. Now it's 124 now. So about there, about 1,100 feet off the deck, which is about right. 11 knots east-southeast. Now if I have a look at those wind stops, wherever they are, shall be, it doesn't look like east-southeast to me, but oh, whatever. I don't know what's going on. Alright, Archfield airspace. Whiskey Romeo Quebec. Taking off runway 10 left. Alright. Overshot a little bit, that's alright. Alright, let's kick it in the gear. Now we do have a crosswind to the left, so ailerons to the left. until the aircraft starts getting a bit lumpy, and then bring them straight back. Whoa! You gotta watch that. Under kicks there. Alright, so we do have 11 knots. Alright, so rudder into the wind. Alright. Gears fixed, flaps are up, instruments are good, switches are all on, and mixture is bouncing around for some reason, but that's alright. Alright, 500 feet, we're going up, good. We're not really tracking centerline. I'm just going to let the aircraft balance up for a bit. I'm going to give the aircraft a bit of a trim. Alright, so we're going to start turning to the right here so we can head out to the south training area. And there's 1,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead and slowly drop the nose. We don't want to be above 1,000 for incoming aircraft. That's just what we do at the school here. So I try and rectify it and go from there. But yeah, going for the first solos on Thursday, it was absolutely brilliant. It blew my mind away of how aircraft handle and feel when you're alone, and just having that sense that you are in the aircraft alone is just really, really good. Alright, so setting 1/3 ground and 2/3 sky, we look out, checking. There was a bit of a lag spot just there, wasn't there? Just keep looking. And then we look back at our instruments, make sure we're at stable height, which we are. Alright, so there's the lakes there to their right. I'm going to come out to the left a bit. Now we're past those lakes, so that is an indication that I can go over. So I'm going to go to standby 1200 and go back to alt. No, we're outside the boundary of Archer Field now. I'm just going to go ahead and check what frames I'm getting at the moment. I'm getting around about 20, 19. Crazy. I don't normally get that, so I don't know what's going on. Anyways, we'll move on. Is that really what the stream's doing right now? I really hope that stream's not doing that. Oh well. It's looks like it's back to normal now, so we'll just leave it there. See how we go. I'm going to keep track IR off at the moment. Alright, so we're flying over Logan motorway at around about 1,000 feet, which is good. Tracking out to some areas out to the east out here. So those buildings over there to the right, that's where we're heading out to. little bumpy out here. Alright, so we're kind of high enough now so we can go full throttle now and head up to about 1,500. 15-degree bank. Not going to worry about trimming this on, because we're just going to be pulling back in a minute anyways. So this sim is absolutely amazing when it comes to VR. Is these buildings are in the exact spots for when I come out to the training area. Absolutely brilliant area. So yeah, training in Archerfield, I've got to give it hands down. This sim has really caught the training area for me. I'm hoping that it has for other people as well. So yeah, if you've got a training area that you really like, post it up. I'd really like to see it. Alright, so just maintaining our height here to 1,500. So we do have some clouds out today. Sorry about the lag. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have a look. It's got to be the internet connection. I reckon my housemate's home and he's probably watching Netflix or something. So I'll get it rectified for next time. It's been a while since I've streamed. I thought I'd just do a real quick one this afternoon. Probably about 40 minutes or so. Just go out to the training area and then fly back. And yeah, I just want to, I don't know, have a post-simulated flight for my first solos flying around. So this is technically not part of the first solos, no. First solos is just one lap around the airfield in a circuit. So we'll just go back. When we go back, we'll do one lap around the airfield. I probably should have taken off on runway 10 right, not runway 10 left. But again, we're in a sim, so shush. We'll land on right when we come back, and then we'll land on. Then we'll do our circuit onto the left, runway 10 left. All right. So we'll go ahead and pull up, get out of that turbulence. So as we pull up, full throttle, and we hold roughly around about the horizon, just on that dash there. Once we get up to around about, like every 500, we just lower the nose, just to make sure that we're going in the right direction. Yeah, just lower the nose. Yep, cool, and then we'll pull up again. And a little bit, so there's something there. In a little bit there's another set of power lines just over there. You guys can't see it because you don't know what you're looking for, but trust me, they're there. I'll start turning towards them a little bit. We're going to be around about 2,500 before them. That's alright, we don't have to be at 2,500, we're just not allowed to go over it. But after them we can go up to about 4,500, which is good. So yeah, nice positive climb here. I don't know if that's the actual speed that I should be doing it, but yeah, I don't fly the Cessnas. I fly the Piper Archer 3s. So
Archerfield traffic, this is Rap 3 Alpha Gigabyte descent down from 5,000 to 2,000.
Alrighty. So we're pretty much going across it now, so we can just keep climbing. We'll go up to 3,000, get up out of that turbulence that was down there. Nice smooth air up here. Might even get into that cloud base at 4,500 up there. I really hope that stream is coming along well and getting rid of all that lag. I have a feeling it might be because 1, I'm running VATSIM. 2, I have all players turned on. 3, I'm running a injected weather as well. So I probably should turn at least all traffic off in Microsoft Flight Simulator and just run with VATSIM. But that's alright. Alright, so we need to just lower the nose. Yep, okay, we're still tracking towards my reference point, which is those lakes just over there, so I'll just keep going. Every 500 feet you lower the nose, but yeah, real world I'll probably be more careful, but it is a simulator, so. But yeah, the turbulence with the live weather, it's an amazing feeling. And we are above 1,000 feet, 3,000 now. So around about 4,500 we'll get up there, and we'll just have a cruise around, get up into the cloud barrier. It'd just be so smooth up there. Alright, I'm just gonna start bringing the mixture back, because you can hear the engine starting to struggle. Bring that mixture back, because we're getting too high now. Now that's just based down on how much air and fuel is getting into the aircraft. Now up here, the air starts getting thinner, so we need less fuel. So yeah, you just pull the mixture out, lean it out. Down on the ground you have more air, so you need more fuel. So it's just a ratio, so the less air you need less fuel. Otherwise you smother the engine, or you use too much, or you starve the engine, all that sort of stuff. So there is plenty of YouTube videos out there. Okay, I'm just going to pull the nose down, make sure I'm tracking. Yep, still tracking out there. We got Bow Desert out here to our left. I just want to get up to around about 4,500. We could get up to about 6,000 out here, but we're not allowed in the clouds, so we're probably not going to be allowed to get up there. But I like how the flight modeling actually does what it actually does, and the turbulence from the injected weather, like down there is really, really bad. Now we're like buttery smooth, look at that. So we can get up into this cloud base up here at 4,500. Just drop that nose just a tad. We're like really close to stall speed. Alright, we'll transition to cruise climb now. So cruise climb, just lower the nose down to the horizon there. And I'll just trim for that. Done. Get some speed up. And that way I can actually just look over the nose and I don't have to keep pitching down all the time. So cruise climb, cruise descent, pretty standard. To get out there quicker, so you can do your training and stuff like that. I gotta redo my videos. I gotta say sorry. The lag on my videos was kinda real bad. So, yeah, I'm very sorry for those. And I really do hope I can rectify them when I'm not as busy. So, I'm also running live time, so it is going a bit dark, so we can't be out here for too much longer. Alright, I'm just gonna keep the full throttle there.
Archfield traffic, Rock 3 Alpha, turning bait for runway 28 right, full stop, Archfield.
Alright, so we'll pull that there. One-third ground, two-thirds sky. And I'll bring the RPM back. And trim it out for that. Altitude and speed. Alright, RPM's probably come back just a tad more than I want. I want about 2,300 RPM, which is not too shabs. Leaned out, and we'll just tuck the nose down there like that. Not too bad. So we got Bow Desert out to the left. We got a lake out to the front here. I don't know what the names are for it, and so yeah, shoot me later. Got a whole bunch of farmland down the bottom there, so it's really cool. This is where we come out and just practice. This is our southeastern training area, and we just practice all our stuff: stalls, turns, emergency procedures, because there's plenty of paddocks down here that we can land on if we wanted to. So, alright, so straight level turn to the left, so we just look out, left, center, center, or right, center, center, left, my bad, and behind, no one there. Alright, so we throw the aircraft into a 30-degree bank, holding the nose back just a tad, keeping that aircraft dead in balance. and making sure that we're looking at the aircraft the whole entire time. Alright, looking down. Okay, we're descending, so let's pull up a bit. Lower down, because we're descending. Ascending, sorry. Climbing. That's about right. And we're just doing another 30-degree bank around, which is good. The wind's pretty much pivoting on its axis. Alright, we'll continue the turn to the lake, and then we'll do a full right turn back towards the field so we can go ahead and land and finish off the stream. The stream's only going to be a short one, just getting back into it. I'll probably even start streaming DCS as well, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay, so left, center, right, and rear. Alright, and we'll go ahead and roll to the right. Now you'll see that we're not actually at the horizon anymore. Doesn't look like it. If we're in the right seat, we would be. We are ascending a little bit, or climbing, so we'll just hold back on. We'll release the pressure on our aircraft there. We're not doing our 30, so keep carting it around. And I'm just looking for that road just down there, so once we've done that, we'll straighten up here. Carburetor heat on. Power to idle. And we just hold this nose up just a tad, so we can get our glide speed, so about 75 knots. I actually think it's 65 knots for glide on this aircraft. I'm not 100% sure. 500 feet a minute. And yeah, hands off. We're descending just a tad, so I'll just go ahead and pull up just a tad. Every 1,000 feet, we just warm the engine up with 2,000 RPM in a glide. So we're looking for a town called Jimboomba, and that is our entry point out of, or our exit point out of the circuit. So we know where we are, and pretty much that's that road just down there. You can't really see it, but it's kinking off to the right up there. Alright, so let's go ahead and warm the engine up, keeping that pitch down there. There's 5 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. And done. Just holding that pitch. Once the aircraft gets itself under control, she'll go back down again. The reason we're going to find Jimboomba is because when we're tracking back into Archerfield, we don't want to hit Greenbank. Now, Greenbank is on the VTC as a restricted area. You can look those up again on Australian Air Services Australia by just looking it up and going to the VTC chart section in the API book. And yeah, you got all the VTCs, but visual flight charts for you to fly around. They are pretty damn accurate for this simulator as well. So Microsoft 2020 benefits really good with VR training. So if you are into that sort of stuff like I am, definitely look it up. Now I think that's Jimboomba just ahead, that little town just off the left of the cowlingness there. So we should be able to. Now I'm just going to go ahead and warm the engine again. I really hope this does not get too laggy when we start coming back into Brisbane. Because if it is, we're going to have to cut some of the aircraft, I reckon. So Once we get to 1,500, we'll just call it there and go ahead and fly on in to H.O.T.A.S. Alright. Carburetor heat off. Perfect. And let's swing around to the right here. Alright. So this is Jim Boomba. There's a Coles and a Woolworths, I believe. I was told. So this one here is Coles, just down below us now, so just like literally right down below us. Then Woolworths is that one over there, I think, where the car park is. We're at 1,000. We could be at about 2,500 here, but we come down to 1,500. Now what we need to do is we need to track to Park Ridge Water Tower, which is just north of Jim Boomba, following the highway. Now I've already got it in sight. Now you can't really see it in this simulator. It's actually a water tower. I just kind of got a general idea of where it is since I've flown it quite a few times now. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pull it back down to 23. And we'll go ahead and trim it out there. Oh. I got a message from Domino's. Trying to get me to buy pizzas. So now we're back down to that nasty turbulence again, so. Now I heard someone on not TrackIR, but on VATSIM saying that they're at Archerfield. Haven't heard any traffic since, so don't know if they're actually still there or not. Gotta say, hands down, one of the best simulators, if not the best, at this point in time. If you got a good computer, I don't, but at medium graphics, who's complaining? Like, I'm not. I get a good 30 frames sometimes, 40 frames. What have we got? 42 frames at the moment. I don't know what happened with that lag before. Like I said, I am streaming, and I do have a few other things running in the background as well, so. Alright, so I'm heading straight for the airfield. You guys probably can't see it yet. I have got an idea of where it is, and I've already got Park Ridge kind of ahead of me. So if you follow this road, like up here where it cuts, and you'll see just there that there's like an intersection type thing. And further up, you can see some like white ground or buildings or whatever. That's roughly Park Ridge. Where I will call now. The water tower is not in the sim, unfortunately, but it is out in the real world, so that's what I use. Alright, so this is the like I've never noticed this before in the sim. I have in the last couple of updates. You can actually see the power lines down there, but yeah, they are invisible in real life, so it's kind of cool that I can see them when I get close, but when I'm up in the air I can't really. But yeah, so I can see the towers, but I can't see the actual power lines. So, but it's really good that they're actually there, because you can see even the cutout of where the power lines are actually from a distance. So you can actually see the cutout of the ground. So if I have a look back that way, you can see the cutout where the power lines are going. So that's the second set of power lines. So that when we're going out, that's the first set we passed, but then there's another set that we've got to go past before we can climb again. And that's alright. So we're just going to come left of Park Ridge a little bit because you got aircraft in the real world. You've got aircraft leaving the same way we did at around 1,000 feet. So we want to stay at about 1,500 where we go to Park Ridge. And we want to be like to the left of Park Ridge a little bit. So we're not creeping over to the right hand side where the aircraft are probably either starting to climb or still at about 1,000. That way we're just like a little bit, normal. So Park Ridge is technically straight down below where those buildings are, and the water tower is there, but that's not actually a water tower, that's just a random building. But yeah. But anyways, without further ado, H.O.T.A.S airspace, Whiskey Romeo, Quebec is inbound from Park Ridge Water Tower, 1,500 feet, inbound for touch and go runway 10 right, crossing runway 10 left for full stop. Alright, so we're going to be touch and going on runway 10 right, and then we'll be going to runway 10 left for a full stop. So we'll touch and go on runway 10 right, full stop on the left. Going up for the first time, my feelings. What would my feelings be going on the first time on my pre-solo? My first solo. Anxiety, nervous, focused. I was definitely focused. I didn't stuff around like anything or anything like that. I was determined to do my best, as best I could for what I've been trained to do. I did get the shakes a little just as I was starting to throttle up and starting to taxi down the runway, because I didn't do it. I did my solos on the grass strip on runway 04 right, I believe. So yeah, I did my solos on the grass strip. It was really it's a lot different to a hard surface runway. Great feeling to actually learn some different runways, like having Archerfield with the 4 runways, 2 grass strips and 2 solid strips, and short and long strips as well. So we've got 2 different types of lengths. We've got 2 different types of runways. Now in the sim they are actually cement, all of them, but they're not. They're actually, there's 2 grass and there's 2 solids. So runway 04 left and right are grass, and 28 left and right are grass, solid. And that is obviously 22 left and right and 10 left and right, if you didn't know what the other end of the runway was called. Alright, so that's Logan Motorway. We are to the left of Logan Motorway, which is good. This is what I wanted to be. And we're a little low. Plus or minus 100 feet for your exam, but my instructors want me to be plus or minus 50 feet, so that's my bad. Alright, so that's Logan Motorway. So once we fly over the top of Logan Motorway, we want to start going in. Well, I'm going to start turning anyways. Alright, so center left. There's nothing out there. We're going to go across these here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just bring up. And we still have that wind coming out from that. Yeah, we still have that wind. So that's cool. Alright, so we're coming in, so we'll go off standby now. We'll go on a standby. We'll cross over to 300 because we're in Delta airspace again. And we'll go back onto on-alt. Whiskey Romeo, Quebec, Logan Motorway. I missed that call big time, that's my bad. So Archerfield's just over there. Not too shabs. Archerfield airspace. Whiskey Romeo, Quebec is 1,500, entering airspace. Touch and go runway 10 right, cross runway 10 left circuits, full stop. Archerfield airspace, Whiskey Romeo, Quebec, joining on base, runway 10 right for touch and go. Alright, so now there's no aircraft that have called up or anything, so we'll go ahead and chuck us in a safe cruise. So about 1,016 there or so. 2,000, sorry. My bad. And just lower the nose just a tad. And just bring her down to 1,000 feet. Now, do we have... I think the oopsies. Yeah, I think we're still on the 1024. We haven't changed. Let's see if I can remember it. So there's a golf course, there's Bunnings and all that over there. So we'll go ahead and that on there, 1500 RPM. Holding that. First stage of flaps, 1500 RPM. Holding that. H.O.T.A.S airspace, Whiskey Romeo, Quebec is on base, runway 10 right. Touch and go. Left circuits, runway 10 left. So about 1,500. 500 feet per minute. And we're going good. So, bit of trim there to relieve that back pressure. Oopsies. Keep it coming down to about 750. Once we get to about 750, we'll go second stage of flaps. Alright, so we're approaching that, so second stage of flaps. Watch that balloon. Maintain that speed, keep it coming down. So we're on the second runway there. And we'll go ahead and turn in. Once we lower the last stage of flaps, or technically the second as well, the power controls your speed from then on. Because we're just pitching down 500 feet a minute, that's all we're trying to do. Alright, third stage of flaps. Carburetor heat off. Pitching down to the runway. Bring the nose to about the end of the runway, keeping that speed up. Get rid of all that grass underneath. So all that grass between the runway and the aircraft, you want to try and keep it off there. Now it is a bit hard, there's quite a bit of turbulence, and I am quite slow too, so I'm going to kick it up a gear. It'll be about 54 for touchdown, I think, in the Cessna. Don't quote me, didn't learn in it, I learned in the Archer, so. Alright, I got my point where I want to be. Alright, so we got a crosswind from the left. So I want to land, alright, so I want to land with my left wheel first. I bounced that. I bounced it on the first one too. Flaps off. Let's see if we can do a better landing next time though. Alright, brakes are good, they're fixed, flaps are up, instruments are okay, switches are still on, mixture's full rich, and we're trucking the centerline. 500 feet, we're coming up. I got my reference points, just the base of those mountains to the left there, and we'll go ahead and continue on the climb and turn 15 degrees to the left, checking to see that there's no aircraft out or on takeoff, which I didn't see any on the runway, so we're good to cross. We're high enough anyway. If they were coming up, they'd be under it by now anyway. Just coming out just a tad. Just in between them. It got a bit close. That's alright. Now, we can't come inside the airfield boundary. So we'll just keep going up to 1,000, and then we will turn when our wings are behind or in front of this grass. So we can go ahead and start turning now. Lower the nose, maintain 1,000 feet, and 30 degrees. And once we get past 90 knots, we can bring back the throttle, and come on downwind. Now, if there was a tower, we would say that we're on downwind, but now there's no tower at the moment, so we'll just say in our CTAF on base when we're ready to go. So, brakes, undercarriage is fixed, mixture's full rich, fuel we are sufficient for a go around, instruments look good, switches are still on, and hatches and harnesses are secure. Pilot activated lighting not required, it's still daytime, and yeah, we're good. So that is Bumfish P checks. For all aircraft, for memory anyways. Let's just give it a bit of trim. Now 45 degrees to the threshold, which is just over there, we will start turning. Which is JB Hi-Fi. Is one of those buildings just over there. It's normally a yellow building. I have a feeling I know where it is already. I'm looking right at it. You probably can't see it because it's not yellow. But for me it is. So we'll go ahead and come on in. So carburetor heat on, bring it back to 1500, holding that 1000. Flaps on. Altifield airspace, Whiskey Romeo, Quebec, turning base, runway 10 left, full stop. And we're coming around here, and I'm looking for my fixed point, which I already have it, which is literally just behind this golf course. Just there. So about, yeah, just there. Alright, next stage of flaps. Alright. Now we do have a massive tailwind at the moment. It's like 11 knots up here, so carburetor heat on still. We're going to start turning in, which we have. Flaps down, carburetor heat in. Power is now all me. I kind of undershot a bit, but that's okay. I can pull back out and come in. So maintaining 60 knots. Done a few hours in this aircraft. Over 10. Not too bad. I've done 12 hours in real flight time so far. Not to mention the other extra hours that were added to it. But since I started my training, I've done 12 hours. 12.4, I think. And in this particular aircraft, I've done 12 hours. But in the whole sim, I've done like 70. I like how this sim tracks your hours in each individual aircraft, so it's pretty good. Now it looks like the wind's coming directly down the runway now, so pitch is good, undercarriage is good, flaps are full, clearance has been obtained. I've already set it. We got the carburetor heat is off, and the wind's coming directly down the runway, so that's all good. According to this anyway, that sock in front of me. The sock to my left says it's not, but that's alright. Alright, so I'm just going to bring it on in and say goodbye to that runway. There we go. And we're down. So doesn't look like there's any wind at all, and if there is, it's coming down the runway, as far as I know. Yeah, it looks like it's coming down the runway now, so that's pretty cool. So the actual, 11 knots at 110, okay. So wind direction east-southeast, which is wrong. The matter says 110, so I'll go off matter from now on, which is correct because we are on runway 10 left. So it's coming 10 knots across, so 10 degrees crosswind. Not too bad. Hopefully that didn't do too much bad stuff. What I have noticed in this sim compared to others is you can't hear the flaps and that. So alright, so we'll turn that on. Trim back to there. I don't think we have a fuel pump in this aircraft. We don't. We can turn that ADO. No, we'll just leave it on. So after takeoff, we're going to leave the mixture, don't we? Not that much. Get out of the way, forklift. We're coming down. Smack into him. All right. Thanks heaps, guys. Avionics are now off. Cool. And cut the throttle. Lights off. Once they're all... I like how the engine doesn't just cut off like it has done in the past with other sims. So cool. Alright guys, thank you very much. And until next time, peace. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Catch you later.